Good morning, everyone. Almost afternoon. Please continue to enjoy your meal. My name is Marcia Frazier. I am the city manager for the city of Douglasville, and welcome to this year's annual Historic Preservation and Tourism Luncheon. So we are always honored to be able to celebrate this month, which is National Preservation Month and also National Tourism Week. It is an important thing that we choose to do each year. To honor those who come into our community, to be a part of our community, even if it's for a temporary time, to enjoy the amenities that we offer to our residents every day. And it's also important to always honor and celebrate our historic preservation matters in the city that allow us to become the community in which we are today. Many communities tend to forget, but here in Douglasville, at least for the past 25 years that I've been here at the city, this is something that we've always celebrated and always been appreciative to be able to include you as a part of that celebration. Well, before we get started, I know you are enjoying your meals, but I would like to have Miss Emily Hardaway come up and give the invocation before we officially launch our program.
Good afternoon. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together today in a shared commitment to preserving the history, character, and stories of our community. We're grateful for those who dedicate their time and talents to protecting the places and traditions that connect us to our past and inspire future generations. As we gather for fellowship and discussion, grant us wisdom, collaboration, and a spirit of service. May our efforts strengthen our community, support thoughtful growth, and honor the heritage entrusted to us. Bless this meal, our conversations, and all those present today. In your name we pray, amen. All right. As Marcia said, I hope you're enjoying your lunch. I would also like to go ahead and introduce our speaker for this afternoon. Cassidy Kendrick serves as the Outreach and Training Coordinator for the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, Office of Downtown Development, where she supports Georgia's downtown districts through training, communications, and community outreach. Her 8 years of experience in the Main Street field have shaped her commitment to helping communities strengthen local identity, preserve historic character, and share the stories that make their downtowns meaningful. Before joining DCA, Cassidy served as Communications and Outreach Director for the City of Tybee Island and as Main Street Director for Enterprise, Alabama. She holds a bachelor's degree in Public Relations from Georgia Southern University and a Master of Public Administration from Troy University. Through her work, Cassidy enjoys partnering with local leaders across Georgia to support vibrant, welcoming, and well-preserved downtown. Let's give a hand for our speaker, Cassidy Kendrick.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay. I'm so glad to be here today for your annual Downtown Tourism and Preservation Luncheon here in downtown Douglasville. I have to say this is my first visit to your community, and I got here a little early to check things out, and I've been incredibly impressed with what I've seen so far, plus what I've seen on your social media. And just this building alone is remarkable, right here in the heart of your downtown. I've talked to a few people this morning who said it just opened recently and it was completely renovated. So congratulations to your community on this great accomplishment. And we're going to highlight a few more things throughout the presentation, but I just had to say that because this building really is very well done. As Emily mentioned, my name is Cassidy Kendrick, and I serve as the Outreach and Training Coordinator for the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, Office of Downtown Development. And we are also the coordinating program for the Georgia Main Street program under Main Street America, where we work with communities across the state to support preservation-based downtown development, local leadership, small business growth, and community revitalization. So, in light of National Preservation Month and National Tourism Week, today we're going to talk about the connection between preservation, tourism, and the economic power of place, and how those ideas come together in our historic downtowns. If you didn't know, Georgia has over 500 downtown districts throughout the entire state, which is incredible. Just in my short time with DCA so far, I've learned that our Main Street and downtown network is one of the largest, if not the largest, in the country, which is pretty impressive. When we talk about preservation, it can be really easy to only think about old buildings or historic architecture, but preservation is really much bigger than that. It's about protecting the character, the stories, and the sense of place that make a downtown memorable. And it's also an economic opportunity. So historic downtowns support small businesses, attract visitors, encourage investment, and give communities something authentic to build from. So as we move through today's presentation, I want us to think about preservation not as something that keeps a community in the past, but as a tool for helping downtowns grow with a purpose. Because America's story really does live downtown in our buildings, businesses, streets, events, and the people that continue to shape our communities. Downtowns are at their best when they're being used, when people are gathering for events and celebrating milestones, welcoming visitors, and supporting the local businesses in your community, and creating new traditions to bring people together. This is what makes downtown preservation so important. We're not just preserving the buildings for the sake of the architecture, but we're also preserving the setting for community life. These are the places where visitors may get their first impression of Douglasville, where a small business might become part of someone's regular routine, stopping by and supporting the faces behind the small businesses that are in your downtown, and where new memories are layered onto these historic spaces. So when we're talking about preserving our downtown, we're really talking about protecting the places that allow community life to continue happening, while also making room for the new stories, the new businesses, and the new experiences to grow. These are some of the photos I found of your downtown here. I know you got a new tourism manager recently, and you guys have done some really great building restoration projects. This brunch place right here, I really need to go check that out, it seems. And all of the other public art and community gathering events taking place down here. Douglasville really has a lot to be proud of. Before we go further, I do want to touch on a little bit more about what our office does to support communities in the Georgia Downtown Network. As I mentioned, we're DCA, Department of Community Affairs, Office of Downtown Development. We are the state coordinating program for Main Street America. That means that we're not just focused on our buildings and the businesses, but we're focused on how all of the pieces of a downtown work together to create historic character, local leadership, and community pride. And our role is to help these communities recognize the value in their downtown assets and how to use them in ways to support long-term economic vitality. Preservation is just a major piece of that, because the places that usually make a downtown special are also the places that give it a competitive edge. This picture right here is the network of Main Street America. So as you can see, every little dot represents a community that is participating in the Main Street approach, similar to City of Douglasville. Main Street Georgia is part of Main Street America, a national movement focused on preservation-based economic development. And in 2026, Main Street America recognized 1,291 nationally designated Main Street programs across the country. That designation represents communities that are working to strengthen their downtowns through local leadership, strategy-driven programming, preservation, and business support, and with measurable impact. In the past year, Main Street America programs across the country generated $9.4 billion in local investment, welcomed 6,936 new businesses, created 36,500 new jobs, and rehabilitated 10,600 historic buildings. That's for the entire country. So When we're talking about preservation here in Georgia, we're talking about work that is deeply local but also part of a proven national movement. And these numbers here are the numbers of the Georgia Main Street Network, which this was a record-breaking year for us. One of the clearest ways to see the value of preservation is in the results. And in 2025, Georgia Main Street communities generated more than $1.01 billion, with a B, dollars in public and private investment, making that a record year for us. We actually were recognized at the Main Street America conference a few weeks ago in Tulsa for this record-breaking year of investment put into the downtowns within our state. And this... Thank you. Yes, we didn't expect to be recognized there, so it was really exciting. But yes, we're one of the first states to hit $1 billion in investment, and that is a collection of 101 communities across our state that participate in Main Street. And earlier I mentioned that there's 500 downtowns across our state, so just imagine if all 500 of the districts were turning in this economic reporting data. And maybe one day they will be, but just if we're generating over $1 billion now with 100 communities, just imagine what it could be if we had all of the numbers. But this scorecard right here represents, or really the $1 billion represents more than just construction activity. It reflects new businesses, jobs, building rehabilitations, events, and then the millions of people that are attending our events across the state. And I do just like to point out that we have, just within our state, our districts hosted just under 24,519 events with 10.8 million people attending those events. So Douglasville is a part of that number in bringing people in to your community to experience all that Douglasville has to offer. And it just shows how preservation and tourism can go hand in hand, because these downtowns are revitalized through the context of historic preservation. And I want to touch on heritage tourism a little bit too, just, because it's National Preservation Month and Tourism Week. I just want to show the value of heritage tourism to a community. And before we move into a few local examples across the state, I think it's important to talk about this. So a heritage traveler is looking for a place with history, character, and authentic experiences. And research shows that they often make a stronger economic impact than other visitors. Compared to other tourists, a heritage traveler is 11% more likely to add just shopping time to part of their trip, and they are twice as likely to participate in a group activity, a group tour, a historic preservation initiative. They tend to stay longer, averaging 4 or more nights wherever they're going, compared to others that may stay 3. And they spend about $166 more per trip than other visitors, averaging about $623 per trip on just fun things, not including your travel, like your lodging and transportation type things. This is money going into your communities. And that matters for a downtown, because so many things that heritage travelers are looking for already exist in these historic districts. They're looking for walkable streets, local businesses, architecture with stories, events, and places that feel authentic. So when communities preserve and activate their history through their downtown, they're not just protecting the past, they're creating visitor experiences that support your local businesses and encourage spending that strengthens downtown and tourism. And now I want to talk a little bit about y'all. In 2025, the City of Douglasville received the Georgia Downtown Association's Outstanding Public Improvement Project Award for your Greystone Amphitheater and Douglasville Town Green. So, I haven't actually seen this for myself, but I am going to go by there before I leave today. The award recognized the project as an exemplary example of community-driven revitalization. And what I think make this project so relevant is the transformation behind it. In the write-up for this award submission, it was shared that the Town Green and Amphitheater converted a long-abandoned jail property into a vibrant community gathering space in the heart of your downtown. The project was also shaped by public input during the downtown master planning process, where residents identified the need for a central destination for cultural events, civic gatherings, and everyday recreation. And by the looks of it, it seems like this project is serving that exact purpose. Since opening, the amphitheater has hosted concerts, festivals, civic events, and the Town Green provides a flexible space for recreation, family activities, and community celebrations. And together, these spaces have helped elevate downtown Douglasville's accessibility, connectivity, and appeal for both residents and visitors. So this is not just an award-winning project, it's a great example of how strategic downtown investment can create a place where community life, tourism, events, and local identity all come together. So again, congratulations to y'all on not just this award, but recognizing the need for a space like this in your downtown and including your residents in the process for making that master plan, because that's huge. And the Town Green is a great example of how downtown investment can create new activity and new memories, but projects like that are even stronger when they're connected to a larger piece of the story. To understand where a downtown can go next, we also have to understand what shaped it, the buildings, the people, businesses that gave it its meaning today. And history is not just about what happened a long time ago. It helps explain why a place feels and functions the way that it does today. And when we understand the people, buildings, and businesses and decisions that shaped a downtown, we're better equipped to make thoughtful choices about its future. So, when Samantha reached out to us to come and speak with y'all today, she mentioned that she saw our America's Story Lives Downtown initiative that our office has started this year in light of the America 250 or 250th anniversary of our country. And so what we've done is created really there's a few opportunities for this, but we've created a opportunity for downtowns across the state to share the history of their communities, not just during Preservation Month, but throughout the entire year, because America's story does live downtown. And if history helps explain why a downtown matters, then storytelling is how we help others see that value, and every main street has a story worth sharing. The story of a downtown is not just found in national monuments or major historic sites. It's found in downtowns, buildings, businesses, and gathering places that shape everyday local life. So throughout this month, and hopefully throughout the rest of the year, specifically on our social media and other community social media pages, you'll probably see this logo and a few other stories being shared around the state with hidden gems, legacy businesses. I met a business owner today who's been in your downtown for over 20 years, and that's really impressive, especially during some challenging times throughout the course of having your business in the same place for a long time. You probably run into a lot of unique challenges. So 20, I think she had said 25 or more years is very impressive. So that would be a legacy business to me. And this is an initiative from Main Street America, putting Main Streets on the map. As we're thinking about storytelling, this is a timely opportunity for downtowns across the country to be recognized on a national level. Main Street America is encouraging communities to submit local stories to be included on their America 250 story map. The idea is to show that America's history is not only just told through national landmarks and major historic sites, but through the places where everyday life happened. Our downtowns, public squares, storefronts, theaters, churches, school, train depot, businesses, and more. There's a QR code here. I hope it's big enough. I did not know it was going to be that large. But on this slide, you'll see a QR code that'll take you straight to the submission site to upload some photos and a story, whether it be your business or just a historic event that happened in your community, Douglasville, that you'd like to share. So I'd really encourage you to scan it. And I can also share this with Samantha afterwards if someone thinks of something they'd like to put on there. But It could be, like I said, a story about a historic event, a longtime business, a civic gathering place, or just a cultural tradition or person that helped shape your community. And then once the story is put, it goes straight onto their map, and Main Street America has been sharing that on all of their platforms, which has a great following, and it's, Douglasville has a story worth sharing. We've seen some really interesting ones on there so far. If you didn't know, up in Ringgold, Georgia, way up at the top is where Dolly Parton got married several years ago. And then in Cartersville was where the first Coca-Cola mural went in their downtown. So just any kind of little, actually one more that I'll share because I just thought this was really interesting. But if you've not been to downtown Gainesville, or if you've been there but don't really know the history there, they were the poultry capital of the world for a while. I don't know the exact time frame, but they've really leaned into that in their downtown and have a bunch of chickens everywhere, and not real ones, but statues or bike racks that look like chickens and everything. But that story was also put on this map. So just really unique things that are part of our state's history. Oh, I'm sorry. Clicked the wrong thing. So once we uncover these downtown stories, we have to think about how people can experience them. And a good story may give someone a reason to visit, but a good experience gives them a reason to stay longer, spend more money, explore more, and support local businesses. So I want to highlight a couple of examples on ways that a community can buy into this heritage tourism and historic preservation tourism. And that can be through a tour of homes, trolley tours. Previously, I worked for the city of Tybee, and we are not as walkable. We're small, but we're not as walkable on the Tybee Island. So we did historic trolley tours around the island to show all of our major historic sites and ride through historic districts and showcase some of the unique homes, the raised Tybee cottages and the lighthouse and parts of the batteries at Fort Screven and all kinds of things. It was a really great event for us that we did, as well as just the tour of homes. Downtown Eatonton, I think I have a photo of this. Well, it goes by kind of quick, but if you see the photo right there of the fire maps, those were the original maps from the buildings in downtown Eatonton, where they blew them up to be really large decals, put them on the windows with QR codes that had history about what the first business was that went into that building. We've seen other communities use, I'm actually going to highlight it on the next slide, but we've seen other communities use unique things to tie in historic preservation throughout their entire downtown district that is funded by some of their tourism. So I actually live in downtown Dahlonega, or I don't live in downtown, I'm sorry. I live in Dahlonega and frequent downtown Dahlonega often, and I found something that they do in their community, an example of a simple and fun preservation activity, and it's called Bears Around the Square Downtown Walking Tour. So this is a self-guided experience that takes people through downtown as they search for these really small tin bronze bear statues all throughout their downtown. So each bear represents a different historical figure from Dahlonaga's past, including people like Willie Lewis, the first female graduate of the University of North Georgia, which campus is in downtown Dahlonega. And what I like about this example is that it makes history approachable. It is not asking people to sit through a long lecture or read a long report, watch a long PowerPoint like today. It invites them to walk, look closely, explore, and discover stories as they move throughout the downtown. And that video is one that they shared of a few of the bears throughout their downtown, but these statues are really about this small, and you really have to be looking for them. But it's really neat. It works from a tourism perspective because families, visitors, and history lovers can participate at their own pace while they're walking the square, passing restaurants, shops, and other downtown spaces, leading the entire activity to support the whole downtown experience. Dahlonega shows how storytelling can create a simple visitor experience. And it's just a reminder that preservation programming doesn't have to be large scale or expensive. Sometimes it can be a small creative idea that helps people connect with local history and spend more time downtown and see familiar places in a new way. So now I want to shift from preservation activities to preservation investment and looking at communities that have taken a historic place and made them part of a larger strategy for their downtown's growth. And I'm going to start with Canton, where preservation has become part of the city's long-term vision for planning public investment and community identity. So this is a shot of downtown Canton. And the city of Canton was a recipient of the 2026 Preservation Service Award from the Georgia Trust of Historic Places. This award recognizes a person, group, or government entity that demonstrates exemplary activities and promotion of the awareness in the field of historic preservation. And Canton is a great example for us to look at because this is a large-scale approach that Canton took. It's not just one building rehabilitation. It is the community choosing to make preservation a strategy on how the city grows. So, as development pressures from Metro Atlanta increased, Canton made the deliberate decision to lean into its historic character instead of treating older buildings as an obstacle. The city has used its Main Street program, local historic district, and long-range planning efforts to connect preservation and economic development with civic identity. Since 2018, Canton has invested nearly $29 million in major public and private funded preservation projects, and those include the Jones Building downtown, an adaptive reuse of the former Canton High School, which is now their City Hall building, the rehabilitation of a church into a public safety facility, and they continue to maintain the Canton Theater in their downtown. And what makes this a relevant example is that Canton did not treat preservation as a one-time project or a decorative effort. They treated it as public policy, community planning, and economic development. And the Jones Building, which is the one on the far, I guess we're opposite here, but the far left over there, is a good example of returning a downtown anchor into a productive retail and office use. So it's a mixed-use building. It's 45,000 square feet, and the rehabilitation of this building has positively impacted Canton's community while preserving the historic elements and turning the building into a modern working place for a lot of the members of the city of Canton. The broader lesson is that preservation works best when it's part of a larger community vision. When the city aligns preservation, public planning, public investment, and downtown partnerships and revitalization around historic character, preservation becomes more than just saving the buildings. It becomes the strategy for sustainable growth. Now we're going to look at a project in downtown Monroe, Georgia. So this case study is the L.J. McGarity building, Ford building in downtown Monroe. So this project also received a 2026 Excellence in Rehabilitation Award from the Georgia Trust, and it is a great example of an adaptive reuse in a downtown setting. This was also a successful historic tax credit project. So this building was constructed in 1921 and reflects the early rise of automobile dealerships and automotive commerce. It is a little over 17,000 square feet structure built with board-formed, poured-in-place concrete and steel trusses. This building was a wonderful adaptive reuse project, turning an old, automobile dealership into a brewery and a restaurant. It had sat empty for a very long time and now is a great gathering place in downtown Monroe. The project preserved major historic features of the building, including the brick facades, steel trusses, interior plaster, and original steel windows. At the same time, it incorporated some modern upgrades needed to make the building functional and safe, including some new doors and an exterior deck that serves as a gathering place, but also fire egress. This kind of project shows that preservation is not just about aesthetics, it's about putting historic buildings back to work. A brewery and a restaurant give people a reason to come downtown, meet friends, and bring visitors, and stay into the evening and support nearby businesses. So a takeaway here is that adaptive reuse can turn underused buildings into a downtown destination. And when a building like this is preserved and reactivated, it becomes more of just a safe structure. So before we move into the final takeaway, I just want to pause here in Douglasville. This community already has the ingredients to make a memorable downtown. A historic setting, local businesses, civic spaces, community events, and people who care deeply about what happens. Those people are you. And the question is not, how do we become like another downtown? The better question is, how do we build on what is already here? This is where preservation becomes practical. It can start with listening, collecting stories, identifying meaningful places, and finding small ways to help people experience them. And maybe it's a walking tour or a business history series or some kind of historic preservation themed event, or a before and after campaign that shows a facade improvement that's just helping people see familiar places differently. And the point is to recognize that Douglasville has its own chapter, and the strongest downtown strategies are the ones that grow from the character, stories, and people that are already here. After looking at impact numbers and storytelling opportunities and case studies from some other communities, the larger message is that preservation is not just about the past, it is also very much about the future. Downtown preservation matters because it gives communities a way to grow without losing what makes them unique. In a time when so many places start to feel and look the same, historic downtowns offer something different and a local identity and sense of place that cannot be recreated once it is gone. Preservation also supports the present-day needs of a downtown. It creates distinctive spaces for small businesses. It gives restaurants, shops, offices, and venues a setting that feels authentic and memorable. And it helps attract visitors who are looking for real places with local flavor, not just experiences that they could find anywhere. So we want them to eat downtown, not at the Olive Garden or the Texas Roadhouse or, places like that. It also builds pride. When a resident sees a historic building cared for, local stories celebrated, and downtown spaces brought to life, it reinforces the idea that their community is worth investing in. So as I close today, I hope this was helpful and reinforces that preservation is more than just protecting old buildings. It is about recognizing the value of the places that hold our stories and support local businesses, welcome visitors, and give our communities a sense of identity. When we preserve and activate historic downtowns, we are not just looking back, we are making intentional choices about what we want to carry forward, because America's story lives downtown. And America's downtown stories are part of a larger story, and every community, including Douglasville, has a chapter worth preserving. Thank you. I'm going to ask Samantha to come up.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Cassidy, for joining us today and sharing your insight and expertise as part of this year's Downtown Preservation and Tourism Luncheon. We truly appreciate your time and contribution to today's program. In connection with the walking initiatives you highlighted, we also want to remind everyone about the Discover Douglasville audio tour. We've included the completion prizes on your table, and we encourage you to take part and experience downtown Douglasville in a new way. Additional viewfinders featuring historic images of downtown are also available at the registration table as you leave. At this time, we are excited to transition into this next portion of today's program as the City of Douglasville begins recognizing a series of award recipients whose work continues to strengthen downtown Douglasville and enhance tourism within our community. As recipients are called, please make your way to the stage to receive your award and take a photo at the step and repeat to the left of the stage. We will also take a group photo with all recipients at the conclusion of the luncheon. So my name is Samantha Rosado, and I am the Assistant Conference Center and Tourism Director. Today, we are proud to introduce a new recognition that celebrates the people, businesses, and partnerships helping shape Douglasville as a destination. The individuals and partners we recognize today play an important role in creating meaningful experiences that leave a lasting impression on both residents and visitors while continuing to move our community forward. The Tourism Trailblazer Award was created to honor individuals, businesses, projects, initiatives, or events that elevate Douglasville's tourism profile through innovation, visibility, and community impact. This award recognizes efforts that not only attract visitors, but also help shape how Douglasville is experienced, shared, and remembered. It is my pleasure to present the inaugural Tourism Trailblazer Award. This recognition is going to a business that has quickly become one of Douglasville's most recognizable and talked about dining destinations. Through bold branding, a vibrant atmosphere, and a strong social media presence, this business has attracted both locals and visitors while helping showcase Douglasville as a welcoming, energetic, and experience-driven community. Beyond its vital identity, this business has also demonstrated a commitment to community partnerships, participation in local events, and collaboration with neighboring businesses, all of which have contributed to the continued growth and visibility of downtown Douglasville. Please join me in congratulating the recipient of the inaugural Tourism Trailblazer Award, High Noon Brunchery. Congratulations. You can walk up, and then you'll walk across the stage, and then David will take a photo of you. Okay. Congratulations.
This is amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Samantha. Thank you. Do we say anything?
You're more than welcome to.
You want to say something really brief? All right. Don't start crying. Here we go.
You go ahead.
Thank you very much. We appreciate all the support. My name is Lorenzo Weich. I'm the owner of High Noon Brunchery. Portia is my partner as well. Portia grew up here in Douglas County, and I also own another restaurant called The Breakfast Boys on Main Street in College Park, and she's like, you got to come out to Douglasville. You got to come out to Douglasville. And I came out, and we sat around, and there was this little corner of a wall that was pink. And I was like, what are we going to do with this place? And she's like, it used to be a courthouse and some other stuff. And I said, Pink Cafe. And then, of course, I said Pink Cafe, and then she ran with it from there because I didn't know what to do after that. But we took that small idea, and from there, it became Portia's vision to create a space where women can come and celebrate and fellowship. And then she said, there's nowhere in Douglasville for women to go to dress nice. And I said, well, let's start going out to restaurants. And we're going to like, what's that steak place? We started going to all these restaurants. And I said, Portia, I don't think the women want to dress really nice out here. It just seems like people were just more casual. And so we opened the restaurant, and boom, immediately women were coming with their all pink dresses and mother and daughters. And it just became a very aesthetically pleasing place. And I think our impact to Douglasville County as a whole is we made a place for women to come, celebrate, dress nice, talk. Brunch is like a sports bar for women. So people don't understand it, but it's like she works all week. She's with the kids. She's working, all these different things. And on the weekend, she gathers her girlfriends. They put their phones on silent, and they just talk and drink mimosas and all that stuff. And if it wasn't for Portia, I wouldn't even know all that stuff. I just thought we were just doing a restaurant. So I guess you got something to say.
And the only thing I want to say, hello everyone, I'm Portia. Just the full circle moment for this is like Lorenzo said, having grown up in Douglasville, went to middle school here, high school here, and literally I hated that I always had to go to Atlanta for celebrations. So to receive this today and see like the community actually does love and enjoy what I was thinking and everyone else wanted this too. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you again to High Noon Brunchery and to all of our partners for the role you play in continuing to move Douglasville forward. At this time, I'd like to invite Tyquavius Dozier, Main Street Coordinator, to the stage to continue with our awards recognition.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Taquavius Dozier, and I serve as the Main Street Coordinator for the City of Douglasville. Joining me in presenting the 2026 Downtown Champion Award is our DDA Chairwoman, Ms. Glennis Tillman. And I'd also like to take this time to acknowledge our DDA board members in attendance. So if you can please stand so we can acknowledge you, please. All right. Again, thank you for all that you do for our community and our downtown by revitalization efforts. On behalf of the Downtown Development Authority, it is my honor to recognize a business that has made a lasting impact in our downtown community through creativity, service, and unwavering dedication. Since opening in August 2018, So Me Crazy Creations and Boutique has made a valued and trusted part of downtown Douglasville. Their commitment to exceptional customer service, entrepreneurship, and community involvement truly reflects the spirit and vision of our downtown district. Through custom fashion designs, alterations, embroidery, sewing classes, and boutique services, So Me Crazy Creations and Boutique has created more than a business, but an experience. Customers visit not only for fittings, consultations, and personalized shopping, but also for the care, craftsmanship, and confidence they receive with every interaction. Their impact extends far beyond individual clients. The business has designed and curated looks for D9 organizations, performers, and public service professionals, consistently demonstrating creativity and professionalism at the highest level. In addition to this artistic contribution, So Me Crazy Creations and Boutique plays an important role in supporting economic and professional growth within our downtown district. By mentoring interns and working with contractors, they provide valuable opportunities for hands-on learning, skill development, and employment within the fashion and creative industries. They also proudly support our community through service work for Douglasville Police Department, including alterations and patch updates. What makes this business especially deserving of recognition is its dedication to community engagement. They continuously encourage customers to participate in downtown initiatives and events, such as town hall meetings, Wine Down Wednesdays, Fruit Truck Mondays, local events, markets, and more. Their efforts help strengthen the connection between residents, visitors, businesses, and the downtown community. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Kelly Sherrard and So Me Crazy Creations and Boutique for their outstanding contribution to our downtown community and for being named the recipient of our 2026 Downtown Champion Award.
Hello, everyone. This was totally a surprise for me, but I really appreciate it. And I look forward to serving each and every one of you pretty soon. Thank you.
Thank you again to all of our honorees. And now, to present our next award, please welcome Ms. Chelsea Tubbs to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. I am Chelsea Tubbs. I serve as the Planning and Zoning Administrator here in the Community Development Department. I am presenting this award on behalf of the Historic Preservation Commission, who protects and preserves historic buildings, neighborhood, and cultural sites by reviewing proposed changes and promoting conservation efforts. The Maintenance Preservation Award is awarded to a residential or commercial property owner or owners who have worked diligently at maintaining their historic district property through care and stewardship to help protect the character and heritage of our historic district. Today, we are pleased to present the Maintenance Preservation Award to Colin Johnson for property located on Campbellton Street. Accepting the award on behalf of Colin is his father, Roy Johnson. Thank you. Okay, as we come to a close, it is my pleasure to introduce our dedicated leader who continues to serve the city of Douglasville with vision, passion, and commitment. As mayor, she has worked to strengthen our community, support growth and development, and create opportunities for people who call Douglasville home. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to the mayor of Douglasville, Mayor Robinson.
Thank you all. Let's give everyone a hand, and thank you all so much this afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you all, and I know I'm holding you up from the rest of your day, so hopefully I won't talk too long. But thank you to DCA for coming to talk to us. Ms. Kendrick, we really appreciate everything that the DCA does for us at the state level to help us to continue to invest in our community to make it strong. And so we're so excited to have you all here this afternoon. Thank you for coming. As I wrap up today's Downtown Preservation and Tourism Luncheon, I want to thank you all for being here and for everything that you do and your role that you play in the city of Douglasville that makes us such a strong and vibrant community. I'd like to recognize the elected officials that are here from the city and the county, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my city elected officials, but I want to recognize the county first because I'm going to talk a little bit about them, put you on the spot. So thank you all to our chair of the Board of Commissioners, Dr. Ramona Jackson-Jones. Please stand, Madam Chair, so we can appreciate you, and thank you so much. Talk a little bit about everyone. So we appreciate Madam Chair investing in and believing in the city of Douglasville. That old jail was a county facility, and she spearheaded, I think, her first or second term, going in the room fighting for the city of Douglasville for us to have the opportunity to purchase the building and to turn it into what the citizens voted, which was the downtown town green amphitheater. She had to go in there and fight and say, we're not taking the highest bidder, we're going to give the city an opportunity because this is in the heart of their community in downtown. So we appreciate the Board of Commissioners for doing that and for you leading the way, Madam Chair. And to our Clerk of Courts, Annetta Stembridge, we thank, please stand, Miss Stembridge, Danley. Miss Annetta Danley Stembridge. Thank you so much. And she's invested for so many years in our downtown, having a salon that made everyone beautiful so that we can shop and look good while we're doing it. She used to be my hairdresser, and she's the one who made me run for city council back in 2000. I was getting my hair done, and she said, you know what, you need to run for council. I said, no, girl, I'm not running for no city council, I'm at the church. And she said, you know, my brother was the first minority city council member in the city of Douglasville, Mr. Homer Danley. So they have great roots, and she inspired me. So thank you so much for putting me on the path to do community service, not just in the church, but in my community, like my mother said I should do back in the day. So thank you, Ms. Stembridge. And to your staff, thanks for coming today. It's good to see you. Now to my council members, the Mayor Pro Tem, who has not only served on DDA, but been a great proponent of the downtown and development, has really put his money where his mouth is, not only as an elected official, but he's invested his business downtown as an architectural firm right on Spring Street. So we thank the Mayor Pro Tem for that, City Council Member Terry Miller, and also for now building, I don't know if it's right near the new City Hall, temporary City Hall. He's building a business, it's gonna be a wine and beer brewery. Stand up, tell us what it is. Tell us what it is. It's underway right now. What is it, Mayor Pro Tem?
The Reserve on Spring will be a wine bar and bathroom. We'll also have my office in the back. It's just coincidence. It'll be just a neighboring gathering spot. It's like a Cheers type place. So when you come, feel welcome, and we will know your name.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We appreciate that. And I'm not pumping up the businesses to tell you, I'm just saying that we invest in our own, and that the elected officials have invested as well. We have two representatives from the downtown area. They represent on the city council in Ward 2, which is inclusive of the downtown area. And so the first person's already stood, but I have her stand again, Ms. Nicole Miller. She serves on the DDA, so we appreciate you doing that. Not only does she have to go to 1,000,001 city council meetings, but she also gives her time on the Downtown Development Authority, so thank you for serving. And also, the co-person in Ward 2, which is downtown, is Councilmember Elena Hudson, so we ask her to stand. If you want some great barbecue, Hudson's Barbecue, Hickory House. How many years have you all been in business, your family?
It'll be 55. I can't take credit for all of them.
No, you're not even, you can't be that, you're only 25, so you know. But we thank you so much for investing and for you continuing to stand on the legacy of your family and giving back. Thank you so much. And Councilmember Representative Ward 3, Councilmember Samuel Davis, who gives of his time. He started Wednesday Wine Down, which really was the cornerstone for the amphitheater, and he's invested as well in the barbershop. So please stand up, Councilman Davis in Ward 3. We appreciate you. How many years for Wine Down Wednesday, Councilman Davis?
Going to the 17th.
The 17th year. So thank you, Councilman Davis, for bringing that idea to the city of Douglasville, and it's helped us to stand and build from our, right in the corner square over here to the amphitheater. So thank you so much, Councilman Davis, for helping us to wobble, baby, do the wobble and the wiggle and all that stuff. So thank you, Councilman Davis. So we're excited in the city of Douglasville. We're doing things, as you can tell, with all the building and development that's going on downtown. Right across the street is going to be the new city hall, so we are renovating old facilities. This one, we couldn't patch up, city manager, and put any more Band-Aids and buckets. We had to just bring it down to the ground and start over again. So we appreciate some of the businesses for allowing us to displace them, to sell to the city of Douglasville, so that we'll have a place for you to come and do your business, as well as for the citizens to serve, the employees to serve the citizens. So preservation, as I was thinking about today, it really hit me yesterday. It was Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day. We're going to celebrate Mother's Day all week, even was last week, for the mothers. But I thought about preservation because now I'm the relic in the family. I'm Big Ma. Can y'all believe that? I am a grandmother all of 8 weeks. And so I know he's so cute. Little Jude, he's such a sweet pea. My son and his wife had a baby. And so they allowed me to babysit. Can you believe that? So I babysat on Saturday, and he only cried one time, and that's because he wanted some milk. But, you know, I had to bring back my old skills. They had to dust them off, Madam Chair. They're like 23 years old. My son's 27, and the baby's 23. So I had to dust off those skills. But looking at that baby made me think about legacy and preservation. And when my kids took me out, they came to church yesterday, and we went to Atlanta Fish Market for dinner. I just sat around the table, and they were giving me gifts. I'm trying not to get emotional, but I thought about my mom and my grandmother and the mothers in my family, and how this little man is like everything I see is all this love, and everything is poured into him. And I thought about preservation and how we build on legacy. And that's really what your communities are. You build on the legacy of the people that have come before you, Ms. Pat. And so those people that made the city of Douglasville what it is, the Camps and Mayor Camp, and the people that put in their heart and soul to make this a community that we can inherit for the future, is such a blessing. And so as a grandmother now, thinking about my kids and my little grandbaby Jude, and my grandmother who came from Mississippi, her and my grandpa, years ago to start, their family in Ohio, I just think about all the things that make us up of a community. So you can't just just start from right here today. It's a microcosm of everything. And that's what the city of Douglasville is today. So thank you all for continuing to have that history, for investing. We had some bumps and bruises with the High Noon brunch room. They were like, it can't be pink. The HPC doesn't allow pink color. You got to come before the so. But we appreciate you all still investing and taking a chance in the city of Douglasville. And for us as the old heads to bend like a palm tree and not an oak tree and break. So we said, okay, you can have the pink Pepto-Bismol. It's okay, it's good, okay, it's going to come on. Because we've been all over the news, and it's been a blessing to have High Noon here. So we congratulate all of the award winners today. These awards represent dedication, vision, and pride in this community. we help you. We thank you for helping us to support our downtown. It's really the heart of any community. It reverberates from your downtown to every other area in the city and in the county. So we appreciate that so much. We thank you for your time today. We hope that you will continue to come out and see what's going on in Douglasville. We hope this is a place that you love, that you want to live in, build your family, and build memories for the future, and invite other people to come. I'm going to just touch on a couple of things that's happening in the city. We're not like Tybee, so we don't have a nice island, but we have some other things going on. We're starting our phase 2 for the town green. And so around that horseshoe is going to be development of apartments, is some fee simple apartments. There are going to be restaurants, some other kind of businesses. So we're excited about that, to have folks around in that area. This week is the farmer's market. I went last Tuesday and spent way too much money, but I have to eat all of the fruits and vegetables. They have strawberries and tomatoes and a squash. So I saw on the Food Network to chop the squash up and fry it, Miss Annetta. You can fry, if you can fry some squash and make it taste good. So the farmer's market is on Tuesdays. It starts at 3:30 until 7 o'clock, or 6:30, something like that, 3:30 to 6:30. So please go and support the farmer's market. They have a lot of great things there. So that's a wonderful thing. This weekend is the Taste of Douglasville. How many years, CAC, Miss Emily, how many years? 34 years, the Taste of Douglasville. Oh my gosh. So all of the restaurants will be downtown at the Taste of Douglasville and the Town Green, and also some crafters and all of that. So 34 years. Let's try to support the Cultural Arts Council for that. And FIFA's coming to Georgia, to Atlanta. So World Soccer, and we're going to have goals on the green. And so we'll sponsor 6 events for watch parties for goals on the green. So that's going to be a lot of fun in the amphitheater. So you can come down, get some soccer balls. I'm getting 250 soccer balls from U.S. Conference of Mayors to give out to the kids. So play some soccer, watch the games, and we're going to see if South Africa is going to beat Spain or whoever's playing, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully you all will come out for that. And if you have not gotten your tickets from last year when we got rained out, Gregory Porter is going to be here June 6th. So we have one more person for the spring concert. No, two more. One more for spring. I think it's Jody Messina. Is that the other person? Who is it, Miss Samantha? Oh, Gregory Porter is it? And then we take a break. We're going to have the 4th of July, and then we'll start back. And so in the fall, it will be Jody Messina, Marsha Ambrosia, and who's the other one? Oh, not the real Earth, Wind & Fire, the cover band. But you know what? Journey cover band was great. Departure, that was a great concert. So we'll have the cover band for Earth, Wind & Fire, Jody Messina, and Marsha Ambrosia in the fall. So I hope that you all have enjoyed today. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you to the staff for always putting on such a wonderful event. But we could not do it without you, without your investment, your time, and your energy and love in the city of Douglasville. So thank you again for being here today, and congratulations once again to all the reward recipients. City Manager, we have anything else? All right, if all hearts and minds are clear, the arborists come to my house and cut. No. All right, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.